Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are jumping straight back to the 15th century to look at a piece of tech that really permanently changed warfare, the matchlock gun.
It's a fantastic topic. This was the first standardized, mechanized firearm for the common soldier.
The moment we shift from cold weapons into the age of gunpowder, really.
Exactly. And our mission today is to dig into three things: what problems it solved, the actual technical leap it represents, and maybe most importantly, the massive impact it had on society.
Okay, so let's start there, with the problems. What was so wrong with what they already had? I mean, you had longbows, crossbows. Weren't they getting the job done?
They were, but with huge limitations. A longbow, for instance, required a lifetime of training.
Right, these were highly specialized, very expensive soldiers.
Extremely. And crossbows, while powerful, were just painfully slow to load. You're talking maybe 1-2 shots a minute. So neither was a great solution for building a large, affordable army quickly.
But the very first guns, the handgonnes, were supposedly even worse. They sound almost impossible to use effectively.
Oh, they were a complete liability. You had to hold the gun with one hand and then with your other hand touch a burning cord to the gunpowder.
So you can't aim.
You can't aim at all. Accuracy past 30 meters was basically zero, and it was incredibly dangerous. It was less a weapon and more like an unpredictable cannon on a stick.
So the breakthrough, which happened around 1450, had to fix that aiming problem. What was the innovation?
It was a simple, almost elegant piece of mechanics. The serpentine lever.
Okay.
It's just an S-shaped piece of metal holding the burning match. You hook it up to a trigger, and when you pull it, the lever dips the match into the powder pan for you.
And for the first time, the soldier has both hands on the weapon.
Exactly. Both hands. You can finally stabilize it, aim it properly. That one little change boosted the hit rate by up to 3 times.
Wow. Still, matchlocks were slow to reload compared to, say, an expert archer. Why did armies switch over so decisively?
2 words. Stopping power.
The raw force of the shot.
The raw force. An effective range of 100, maybe 150 meters. But the truly critical number, the one that changed history, was its ability to pierce the thickest heavy plate armor at 200 yards.
200 yards. No bow or crossbow could come close to that kind of power at that distance.
Not reliably, no. This is where the technical advantage becomes a world-changing consequence. That single fact just completely invalidated the armored knight, the heavy cavalry that had dominated battlefields for centuries.
So it's a democratization of force almost overnight.
It is. You could train a peasant to use a matchlock in a few weeks, and that peasant could now kill the most elite, most expensive warrior on the field.
I think Friedrich Engels had a great line about that.
He did. He said the citizen's bullet shot right through the knight's armor. And that says it all, doesn't it? The knight's whole monopoly of force just dissolved.
When that monopoly dissolves, it's not just battlefield tactics that change. The whole political structure starts to crumble.
Absolutely. Local feudal lords couldn't hold on to power anymore because their elite knights were suddenly vulnerable. It allowed centralized monarchies to rise.
Because they could now afford to raise huge standing armies of common soldiers with these cheaper, easier-to-use weapons.
And concentrate power in the state, not in the local nobility. It really did accelerate the end of feudalism.
You can also see the seeds of industry here, too. The demand for all these guns must have driven manufacturing.
It did. The need for quality steel barrels, for consistent gunpowder, this was one of the first products that required high-precision, bulk manufacturing. It's a direct forerunner to the industrial age.
So the matchlock gun wasn't just a better weapon. That simple serpentine lever was a catalyst for a complete political and eventually industrial reorganization of society.
It's an incredible example of how a simple mechanical innovation can totally upend established power structures. Which leaves you with a pretty provocative thought to consider. Well, if the matchlock reshaped its world by lowering the barrier to entry by making power accessible with less training, what modern technology, based on that same principle of simplified operation, is doing that to our professional or political hierarchies right now? Something to think about.